Welcome to the news on Enyimba TV. We are reaching you from the commercial city of Aba. First, the headlines. Abia government told to review Open Government Partnership SAP 1 for inclusive governance. President Tinubu makes fresh plea, urges Nigerians to look beyond the temporary pain. Security operatives raid NLC headquarters in search of subversive materials used for End Bad Governance protest. Thanks for joining us on the news at this time. My name is Esther Chima. Now the news in detail. Out of the 6 commissioner nominees sent to Abia State House of Assembly for screening by the state governor, only 2 were confirmed during plenary yesterday. They are Obochi Goodluck Chinedu and Professor Bonaya Uche. The confirmation of the other nominees were suspended pending when they submit their credentials to the clerk of the House. This followed an observation presented to the House during the screening by the member representing Obingwa West State Constituency, Uchenna Erondu Jr., who frowned at why the commissioner nominees would come for screening at the House without their credentials. The Speaker, Right Honorable Emmanuel Emerowa, added that one of the commissioner nominee was not present at the screening due to distance, adding that others would be confirmed after they present their credentials to the House. Enyimba TV Umuahia correspondent Kingsley Chubike reports that the House later adjourned its plenary to reconvene on Tuesday, 13th August 2024. Member representing Bende North State Constituency in the Abia House of Assembly, Honorable Nnamdi Ibekwe, is expressing worry that no intervention has been done on the numerous erosion menaces ravaging many parts of his constituency, despite efforts and appeals made to the government and relevant authorities. Honorable Ibekwe, who expressed his feelings in a chat with journalists at the House, disclosed that the erosion menace had been a historical problem in Bende North and has disoriented not only the ecological system but also the living conditions of the people. He said he has embarked on several intervention programs such as construction of culverts and drainages as a way of salvaging the situation, but regretted that the constant rainfall and flooding at the areas had exacerbated the situation beyond the strength of the communities affected. Abia State government has been urged to review the state's Open Government Partnership OGP State Action Plan SAP 1, which was not implemented by the previous administration. The Abia State OGP SAP 1 was developed in 2018 but abandoned by the past administration. According to Civil Society Advisor, OGP National Secretariat Abuja, Mr. Uchenna Arisuku, speaking at a 3-day workshop organized in Umuahia by African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development. Arisuku charged the current administration in the state to go beyond review of the state SAP 1, but ensure implementation of SAP 2. Arisuku, who regretted the failure of the previous administration to implement OGP SAP 1, said OGP helps to engender development and enhances trust between government and the citizens. He explained that the essence of the review was to identify the thematic areas, including accountability, transparency, citizens' engagement, and technology advancement, and roll them over the objective to SAP 2. President Bola Tinubu is again pleading with Nigerians to be patient with his administration, assuring them that the country is transitioning from darkness to dawn. In an official video released by the State House, the president acknowledged the ongoing hardships orchestrated by the removal of the fuel subsidy and the floating of the naira. He noted that Nigerians' pain was compounded by what he described as an unavoidable lag between the subsidy removal and his helpful plans for the country. Federal government is insisting that it won't accept any foreign interference in the aftermath of the violence that trailed the End Bad Governance protest in the country. This is according to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, when he met with members of the diplomatic corps in Abuja, warning that the government will not spare anyone funding the protest, both from within and outside Nigeria. He also reaffirmed his commitment to democracy, economic reforms and security efforts amidst recent protests and challenges facing the country. Meanwhile, the Department of State Services, DSS, through its spokesperson, Peter Afunaya, in the meeting, revealed that it is investigating 7 Polish nationals who were arrested in Kano over their alleged involvement in the widespread waving of the Russian flag during the protest. The meeting was also attended by the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, representatives of the National Security Advisor, the Inspector General of Police, lawmakers, and others. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa is lamenting military takeover in some West African countries, saying it has created unintended consequences and threatened democratic values in the region. He spoke at the 42nd Ordinary Meeting of the ECOWAS Committee of Chiefs of Defense Staff in Abuja. General Musa said the threat of military takeover must be destroyed, adding that it negates the core values and responsibilities of the military profession. Meanwhile, Minister of Defense Mohammed Abubakar and his foreign affairs counterpart Yusuf Tuga challenged the service chiefs from the region bloc to tackle terrorism through effective collaboration to combat illicit movement of small arms and light weapons in West African sub-region. The National Youth Service Corps has announced the schedule for the 2024 Batch B Stream 2 orientation course. The announcement was contained in a circular dated August 7, 2023, entitled 2024 Batch B Orientation Course. The circular noted that the orientation exercise will take place across all 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory. The orientation course is set to commence on Wednesday, August 28, 2024, with registration slated to run from the 28th to the 30th of August. The deadline for registration is set at midnight on Friday, August 30th, 2024. The swearing-in ceremony, a significant event marking the official start of the service year for the new corps members, is scheduled for Friday, August 30th, 2024. The course will then proceed through various activities aimed at preparing the corps members for their service year, culminating in a closing ceremony on Tuesday, September 17, 2024. Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed is faulting President Bola Tinubu's nationwide address to Nigerians in the wake of the Bad governance protest. Speaking during the flag-off of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) campaign for the local government election in Bauchi, Mohammed said the federal government should stop giving excuses to Nigerians. He expressed concern over the widespread hunger in the country, noting that the policies of the federal government are ineffective. Heavily armed security personnel stormed and raided the headquarters of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) in Abuja on Thursday. The union has said, according to the union, the operatives stormed the Labour House, as its headquarters is called, around 8:30 p.m. yesterday. The NLC's head of media and public relations, Benson Opa, said they broke in and ransacked the bookshop on the second floor, carting away hundreds of books and other publications. The invading troop claimed that they were looking for seditious materials used for the Bad governance protest. The NLC is not immediately able to ascertain all the things taken away from its offices. The raid, which was carried out 6 days after the Bad governance protest started, has been blasted by the union. The NLC also demanded the immediate withdrawal of the security operatives from its headquarters. Senate is raising concerns over the $1.5 billion approved in 2021 for the turnaround maintenance of the Port Harcourt refinery, with little or no result. Chairperson Senate Ad Hoc Committee to investigate the alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry, Okpeyemi Bamidele, in an interactive session with stakeholders in Abuja, said it is unfair and wrong to treat public companies shabbily while private businesses were flourishing and thriving. On his part, Mele Kyari, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, refuted claims of sabotaging the domestic refinery. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Heineken Lekpobre also said that the oil sector was bedeviling by misinformation. House of Representatives has explained why it is yet to donate half of its members' salaries as promised. The spokesperson of the House, Rotimi Akin, in a statement acknowledged and regret that this resolution was not implemented by the bureaucracy as intended in the month of July. He added that resolutions of the House are rectified when the votes and proceedings of plenary are adopted on the next legislative day, while adding that the bureaucracy was only formally instructed on July 23. Honorable Akin said the lower chamber remains committed to the 50% deduction in lawmakers' salaries. The proposed 10-day stretch hunger protest in Rivers State was disorganized yesterday, being day 7, following alleged financial inducement by undisclosed politicians in an effort to curtail what has now turned to a volatile action. In the early hour at Education Bus Stop My One in Port Harcourt, some persons were seen sharing money to the protesters and admonishing them not to be scared of anything. An eyewitness disclosed that the arrival of a team of armed policemen caused the protesters to scamper, thereby disrupting the money-sharing process at Nnewi and Udi streets in the popular Diobo area of Port Harcourt. A group of thugs positioned themselves directly opposite the Federal Secretariat in Port Harcourt, intimidating and chasing away both journalists and protesters. Witnesses reports say 2 protesters were beaten while police officers stood by and did nothing. A journalist was also surrounded and threatened by the thugs, who stated that they were there to ensure no protest would take place yesterday. Meanwhile, 3 men are now cooling their feet in the police net in Rivers State for allegedly stealing point-of-sale machines and wipers of vehicles in the guise of protesting bad governance in Nigeria. The State Commissioner for Police, Olatunji Disu, disclosed this while fielding questions from newsmen in Port Harcourt. Disu, who said he carried out an on-the-spot assessment of the protest in various parts of the state, expressed dismay that miscreants had taken over the protest. He further said the organizers of the genuine protest had lost control of the protesters, saying the police could not fold their arms and allow hoodlums to have a free run. Gunmen have kidnapped the Akwa Ibom State Coordinator of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC, Okun Christopher, and his driver, Daniel Effiong Asibong. Director of Information and Public Relations of the NYSC, Eddie Megwa, in statement said the 2 officials of the NYSC were abducted between Onitsha and Owerri Road. The statement urged Nigerians with useful information regarding their whereabouts to contact any of the 37 NYSC state secretariats, area offices, and the National Directorate headquarters in Abuja, or the nearest police station or other security agencies for prompt action. You're watching Enyimba TV News. After the short break, the news continues with foreign, business, and sports update. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Now the rest of the news. Thousands of anti-racism protesters have rallied in cities and towns across England for a week of anti-immigrant rioting and disorder. Gatherings in locations where anti-immigration protests had been expected, including North London, Bristol and Newcastle, were largely peaceful, with counter-protesters chanting, "Refugees are welcome here," forming the bulk of the crowds. Police had been braced for further violence, with thousands of officers deployed and more than 100 events anticipated. Rioting was sparked by misinformation online that the suspect in the fatal stabbing of 3 little girls in Southport on 29 July was a Muslim asylum seeker. From the business scene, Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu says Nigeria's power sector generated 5.105 megawatts of electricity on July 27, 2024, describing it as a 3-year high. Adelabu announced this at the inaugural meeting of the Inter-Ministerial Power Sector Working Group in Abuja. He reiterated that the target is to achieve a landmark generation and transmission of 6,000 megawatts by December 2024. And now sports. Nigeria women's basketball team D Tigress saw their remarkable run at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games come to an end as they lost 88-74 to the United States in the quarterfinals. Despite a valiant effort in the final quarter, coach Rena Wakama's team was unable to overcome the deficit. Having lost the first three quarters, D Tigress reduced the deficit to 13-8. The USA finished the first quarterfinal strong, taking it to 26-17. In the second quarter, the Tigress attempted to keep pace, cutting the lead to 31-25. However, the Americans won the quarterfinal 26-16, stretching their lead to 50-31 at halftime. The third quarter saw the Nigerians struggle, being outpowered 24-15 by the Americans. But in a thrilling final quarter, the Tigress staged a comeback, outscoring the USA 26-12. Unfortunately, it was too little too late as the Americans held on for an 88-74 victory. The United States, seeking an unprecedented 10th gold medal, proved too strong for the Nigerian team. And with that sports story, we wrap up this edition of the news on Enyimba TV at this time. But before we go, here is a recap of the top stories. Abia State government told to review Open Government Partnership SAP 1 for inclusive governance. President Tinubu makes fresh plea, urges Nigerians to look beyond the temporary pain. Security operatives raid NLC headquarters in search of subversive materials used for End Bad Governance protest. Now that's our package of the news for now. Please join us for more updates in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Click on the notification bell to receive alerts when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the production crew, I am Esther Chima. Do have for yourself a wonderful day.